the Speaker did exactly what he should do. As the Speaker of the whole House of Representatives, he listened. He got pushback on what the Senate passed from the Republican leader, Eric Cantor, and many of us because of what it doesn't do. Yes, it helps reduce that mountain of tax increases, but without spending cuts, we're simply deferring when we'll eventually have to pay that money.
And what is your expectation right now as to what's going to happen? Will you all try and change this bill? If so, how? Will you add specific spending cuts to this?
Well, Speaker Boehner, unlike Speaker Pelosi, believes in regular order. So that means that this will come over and it'll be open for amendment because it's not a consensus bill. As such, the amendment, I suspect, would increase the amount of deficit spending that is attached to this bill and send it back to the Senate. I think the tax elements will mostly stay the same. In other words, Americans can rest assured that their tax rates are not going up if, in fact, we can get some spending reduction in addition to these tax cuts.
And the word we're getting already from the Senate is no chance. You guys change this bill. Democrats in the Senate, Harry Reid's gonna say absolutely not. At that point, are we at gridlock? Would you all reassess?
Well, you know, Speaker Pelosi keeps saying she wants an up or down vote. And, of course, in the House, up or down votes include amendments and then an up or down vote. The Speaker Boehner, is giving her all of us that. But the Senate has to stop thinking that it's a dictatorship ruling the House. The fact is they delivered a bill that did not meet the president's stated goal. It is not balanced. It does not have some of the cuts, the very cuts the president said he would be for. He said he was for many things. Ultimately, they're not in this bill.
You've got 89 senators, including a whole long list of Republicans, Mitch McConnell among them, who voted for this over on the Senate side. One of the arguments they made is we'll have that spending battle closer to the debt ceiling fight. There still will be an opportunity to get spending cuts.
Peter, I wasn't here when H.W. Bush had the largest tax increase in American history with a promise of spending cuts. But as a taxpayer who paid those increases and the increases under Clinton, I found out that tax increases or tax cuts do not link to spending cuts unless they're in the bill. It's not in the bill. The American people expect this package to include it. When Democrats speak historically, especially under H.W. or under W. Bush, they talked about pay-go. They talked about paying for tax cuts. There's no pay for it. This is $4 trillion of tax cuts that Republicans believe in, but tax cuts that in this case have to include some offsets. And oh, by the way, we shouldn't be kicking sequestration down the road so that our defense community and other federal agencies are wondering how they plan. How do you plan for less than 60 days worth of spending?
Are we set up here for more gridlock? Are we going to have to kick this can into the 113th Congress and start all over again?
I hope not. But, Peter, it's not gridlock for the Senate to say what it would like, the House to say what it would like. Remember, we said what we wanted back in August. They sent us back at 2 o'clock this morning what they would like. We're simply going to mark it up, I hope, and send it back to them with most, if not